Let's get into our top stories. There were no casualties reported in the Dubai Marina tower blaze. So this Saturday, we woke up to footage of flames ripping through a Dubai Marina tower once again. I'm sure we all woke up. I was, you see the first one and you're like, oh, what's that? And then I was going through Lovin Dubai stories. Rich was up at 4 a.m. sharing them all. And you see that you suddenly realize that it's quite a serious incident.
Yeah.
A fire started on the 9th floor of the Marina Diamond 2 tower, and it ripped up to the 15th floor. Now, residents were evacuated quickly by fast-thinking security personnel, as it transpired that the fire alarms were not actually all working. So there's people banging on doors. The residents thankfully got out safely.
Oh
the fire started shortly before 4 a.m. The emergency service, it was controlled by 3 fire stations in total. The first fire station reached there in 3 minutes. And by these combined efforts of 3 fire stations, they managed to control the fire by 5:25, according to Dubai Civil Defence.
Now, Dubai Police's Emergency Crisis and Disaster Management Center provided accommodation for the residents whose properties were damaged in the fire, and the cause of the incident is currently under investigation. And our thoughts and prayers are with all of those who have been affected by the fire. But on that note, it's just like a speaking point, an average response time for the civil defense is 6 minutes, but the DCD aims to eventually get this down to 1 minute.
It's really incredible how fast they are. Like, the first team was there at 4 in the morning within 3 minutes. I think people in the lower part of the buildings are able to move back in, but there's fire damage, of course, from the 9th up to the 15th floor. I think it's 16 in total. There's fire damage and waterlogging kind of from those floors up. So people are, but I remember being down near Torch Tower after one of the blazes in Dubai Marina, and you really see how, we see the videos. We saw the videos of people standing on the streets at 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
DCD were handing out waters to make sure that they were all okay. And like Simran said, there's temporary housing for people whose houses have been damaged. But then you see it in real life, and it's very, very shocking. So we just hope that that's kind of, the end of the fires in Marina. Interesting, some reports on it though, some stats they have that apparently 3 p.m. is the average time for reporting fires.
Oh, wow.
And the majority of fires in high-rise
afternoon.
buildings begin in the sauna, garbage or electricity rooms.
There have been so many incidences where people just smoke cigarettes and leave them lying around in balconies and garbage rooms, and that's what catches on fire. Like in my old building, there was this one small incident where one of the blocks, that floor was smoked up heavily because of a cigarette butt being left in the garbage room without being put out properly. But it's those small human errors, just the carelessness of the whole thing.
You hear of people having barbecues on balconies, you're like, that's not okay, by the way, it's not okay. Because I think people forget how serious that is.
Yeah.
And of course that we know that there's some buildings built pre-regulation here, that there was some cladding issues, and that's why, due to the cladding, that's why the Torch Tower has gone up 3 times, and they're inputting regulation around it. But I think buildings built before a certain time maybe aren't under those standards yet. But if the cladding was pre-regulation, it basically means that they are more likely the fires move quicker in these buildings. But we know that post the Torch Tower incidences, they are putting more regulation around it.
That's so scary,
it's
honestly.
So scary.
Having your home just, being put in that situation is really the worst thing.